Welcome back to this wonderful discussion we're having on BARP and how they're offering service excellence to seniors, retired persons in Barbados. We were talking about the outreach before we went to break, and Mr. Bushell, you had a point you wanted to make.
Yeah, the point I was saying that BARP is looked at by the other regional organizations as a very successful organization, as we said before. And we've been asked to help them in developing their own organization. So I've just come back from Jamaica. They've just started the CCRP up there. And they all want to be affiliated with
CCRP.
Caribbean Community of Retired Persons.
Wow, fantastic.
Yes.
Sounds like you're going to write
as a matter of fact, in September is the planned meeting in September, because one of the things we want to do is look at reducing the cost of regional travel for seniors. And we've already entered into agreement with LIAT for the Barbados seniors. So we want to expand that to the entire Caribbean region. And we're having a meeting in September. All these, we got GARP, TARP, BARP. The GARP is Grenada,
yeah.
TARP is Trinidad, Jamaica, St. Lucia. Also, we met with Martinique and Guadeloupe came up and met with us. So in September, we're going to have a regional meeting to look at these matters, a closer collaboration, and the means of reducing the travels for seniors.
From what I'm hearing, it seems like a lot of persons are going to be rushing toward retirement because these regional low costs for regional travel, air travel, I mean, that would be very, very attractive for a number of persons. But never mind, we don't want to rush retirement. Let's hear from Andy. Good evening, Andy. Welcome to the program.
Good evening, Maureen, and to your wonderful panel.
Good evening.
I want to ask a question. The question is, I would think that most of BARP members who is over 50 would be people you would think that are very morally strong and not like the school children, like Mr. Marshall often says. I want to ask, with all the voices that are challenging our society, how do BARP go about helping its members with gambling, such as the internet services where you're exposed to pornography? And what about the issues of gay marriage? Can we expect BARP to have its members to lobby around certain issues that will penetrate our society, and we will want to make a very early stand against things that would obviously deteriorate in our society?
Okay, thank you very much, Andy.
I think Andy would be aware that BARP has a membership of nearly 37,000 persons, and that means that we've drawn across the entire gamut of society in Barbados. We try not to be partisan on any issue. We're here to represent all of our members' interests, and we don't really go down represent any one particular interest. And that is what, as far as the young people are concerned, we have a program with the young people. We just finished essay competition. What we call the program?
It's an outreach
program to young people anyhow. So we try to reach them and bridging the gap. That's it. Bridging the gap. We try to bridge the gap between the elders in Barbados and the younger folks, and we have various activities to facilitate that.
In terms of manpower and woman power, to be politically correct, what type of, what should I say, persons do you have coming to volunteer to offer these services to BARP? Is it mostly retired persons, or you find a cadre of young persons who are willing to put in a good day's work at BARP?
Mostly retired persons, because obviously they have the time. And if you look at the BARP committees, as evidence from our reverse mortgage committee, a lot of very highly skilled people are members of BARP, and they don't hesitate, most of them, a lot of them, for sharing their expertise. So our legal committee will find the persons who are there are retired or nearly retired lawyers. The reverse mortgage committee is comprised of bankers. Investment committee are people who probably work before in the stock market, our bankers and stuff. And ordinary folks, because it's important. If you have the time and you're willing, we're very glad to have it, because we need, right now we need more volunteers, actually.
Okay. In terms of the attractive benefits that one could have or obtain being a member of BARP, could you just outline them again for the viewing public so that they would know once they reach 50, BARP is the place to go?
One of the primary benefits of being a BARP member is being able to interact with your peers. We have a number of social activities where people can come together. Remember, when people retire or about to retire, it's very important to have a network of friends, a network of people you can trust. It's not important just to exercise. It's important to interact and network with other people, because one of the things that characterize retirement for those who have not planned adequately for it is loneliness and depression. Okay. So I would say one of the primary benefits is belonging to an organization that looks out for the welfare of senior citizens at all aspects, especially psychologically. I know you wanted me to mention the discounts. And the reason I did not mention the discounts up front is because
preferential pricing.
Yes, preferential pricing. We seek preferential pricing for our members, but we do not want to be seen as primarily a discount house. BARP is so much more than that. You mentioned advocacy before. We sit on a number of committees. For example, the Consultation Committee for the Development of Gender Equality. Men and women age differently. Women live longer than men. Women are likely to be in a situation where they have no one to look after them, because migration, immigration, jobs abroad are so easy. Education, we have one of the best education systems, but that also means that our people can get jobs readily overseas, and they do that. When you were talking about reverse mortgages, one of the reasons why some of our members may need it is that their children do not reside in Barbados. Their children reside overseas, and they are at the age where they are caught up in seeing about their own families. So they need some sort of financial assistance. Not that it's reducing what you will inherit, as you were concerned about, but remember, during those years, it is difficult for younger people to take care of the older ones. You did mention that people are living longer, and Barbados is one of the countries
with the highest percentage
of people, not just
aging population.
Yes, we're a rapidly aging population. We have the highest percentage in the region, probably by now, of people over 60. So although you're concerned with a reduction in what you will inherit, during that time, you do not have to take care of those people who have a reverse mortgage. They are taking care of themselves and allowing their children the opportunity to see about their own lives.
No, I'm just asking on behalf of the people. I know. We have a call on the line. Good evening. Welcome, Mr. Linton.
Good evening to the panel. I know that you start at 50. What is the outer limit? 18, 90, 100 or more?
113.
Actually, our oldest member has just unfortunately, Mrs. Snett died. We have a number of 100-year-olds, a lot of 90s and 80s. There's no outer limit. And that's the interesting also about the medical scheme. Once you join the medical scheme and you join it before you're age 75, it takes you till you go. You could be 110. You're still eligible to be, you're still on the medical scheme. There's no limit on that either.
Okay, thank you, caller. Getting back to the whole question of reverse mortgages, why aren't we seeing banks readily getting set to provide the reverse mortgages to persons who want to?
Just give us a minute.
Yes.
All right, but let's pick up that point when we return after the break. The People's Business, please stay with us. Welcome back to the People's Business Alive. As I raised the question before we went to the break, Senator Marshall, why are banks just out there ready with this product to sell to, or not to sell, to provide to senior citizens or retired persons?
The banks are ready, I'm sure, as is the credit unions. We've had a number of banks who've asked us to make presentations to us, and they're very interested. In our habit of efficiency, we had some legislation prepared which we've submitted to government. I believe some of the banks are waiting to see what happens there, while others are saying, I don't need it. And quite frankly, I don't think that it is a prerequisite for having the reverse mortgages. The more important point is this: banks like to have money rolling in, because then they are able to relend the repayments. A reverse mortgage does not allow for that. There's no money rolling in for some time, and hence I would think that the banks would not want to jump at it. But they're going to have to do it because of the fact that some of the financial houses are extremely keen and the cooperatives are more than keen. And let's face it, if an institution gives me a reverse mortgage and I happen to have funds on credit account with a bank, I am highly likely to move it to that institution who has been kind to me. And that is going to force the banks to come on board speedily.
Certainly there must be some degree of risk involved, and banks seek to mitigate risk wherever possible. So what are some of the things that the service provider, whether it's a bank or a cooperative or whatever, can do to ensure that it protects itself against various types of risks that will emerge as a result of providing a reverse mortgage?
Excuse me, as a non-practicing banker.
Retired banker.
I didn't want to say retired. A lender has to make sure that the property is able to maintain its value over a protracted period of time. It can do this because one of the conditions is that the property must be maintained. And the lender has the right to insist on that. So once the property is insured and he sees that the insurance value is not falling and the taxes are paid, etc., then the risk is really minimum. The area of greatest concern I would fancy would be if you met another Mr. Cisnet.
Oh dear, yes.
Okay.
Yes, yes.
But as long as persons adhere to the normal rule of thumb, which at the moment is somewhere in the vicinity of 80 years, it's really 77. But let's say it's 80 years, then there should be no problem because you will factor that into your decision when making the loan.
Okay. In terms of persons defaulting, the possibility of defaulting on, let's say, the taxes, the property taxes, because when you get the reverse mortgages, you, like as you said, you still have to maintain the property. Whose responsibility is it the bank to make sure the maintenance is kept up? Is it the bank's responsibility to make sure that the borrower, in terms of the taxes, the property taxes, in terms of whatever fees, insurance fees and so on are due, is the bank's responsibility to make sure that the borrower does these things?
The banker has the right, if insurance were not paid, to pay and charge the account.
Okay, okay.
All right. Given the habit of Barbadians treasure property.
Of course.
And default is never a fly-by-night thing. It comes from serious financial problems. A banker who is keeping his nose to the grind and keeping his ears on the ground will hear of a deteriorating financial position of any borrower, any, reverse or otherwise, ordinary mortgage, and will step in and try to sort it out at an early stage.
But tell me something, aren't the interest rates usually higher than it is for a reverse mortgage than it is for a normal mortgage?
No, it is not normal. And I am sure that we at BARP are going to use every ounce of our energy to make sure that does not occur here.
Okay, in the final going down of the program, I just want Mr. Bushell, Ms. Webster, to just highlight upcoming events and just quickly tell the public what to expect from BARP.
All right, well, this month, on the 15th of June, is our Midsummer Police Band Concert at Prince Cave Hall, Auditorium.
Yes.
That's the nearest one. And then next month, our extraordinary general meeting, in which we're having that because we're going to make some changes to the bylaws. The most important one being that we can be able to get in touch with our members electronically.
Right,
because our
fantastic.
bylaws now require that we post out our documents to the members, and that costs us about $90,000 a year. And yes, and the annual general meeting will be in July at Lloyd Erskine Sanford Center as well.
Both of those events will be at the Lord Erskine Center.
Yes, yeah. On the 27th, as I said, we're going to have the Silver Soca Explosion.
Wow.
Save the date.
This is save the date. This is going to be hot. This is when the seniors are going to be trotting.
All right.
We're going to be out there. Last time we had that, last occasion we had that, we had nearly 800 people in attendance. And we expect perhaps about the same this time. It's the time when the seniors...
And it's not restricted to seniors?
No, no.
Oh, okay.
No, you'll be surprised how many people who want to be seniors on that day show up. So that's going to be on the 27th. The Open Garden program is coming on stream, and we expect that's going to be coming either the end of July or in August. CPR and first aid workshops as well will be starting at the same time next month, in July. And further down the road, our Elder Appreciation Day will be on the 21st. That's when we show our appreciation to all the 50+ people in Barbados. We have a free day for them, a free fair, where we have a good time. That's going to be in September. So these are some of the things that are coming. There's another thing that we're going to be having very shortly, but we're not going to tell you tonight. We're going to have a press conference and announce it.
Whoa, that sounds
That's going to be exciting.
Yeah. All right, any comments from you, Ms. Webster?
No, the only one I think that Mr. Bushell forgot was, well, we didn't forget it. I just want to reiterate that towards the end of September, probably the last week in September, we'll have our first ever regional event where we will bring together the other like-minded organizations throughout the region, at least 2 members of each organization to Barbados, and try to kick off some sort of regional collaborative umbrella. We haven't decided whether it'll have another name or anything yet. We just want to explore the possibility of having regional collaboration, and that will be at the end of September.
I want to thank you for joining us here on Caribbean Broadcasting Corporation. Unfortunately, we're out quickly.
I'd like to ask the members of BARP, the public, to let their bankers, credit unions, financial institutions know that they're interested in a reverse mortgage. Tell your parliamentary representative. One way to ensure that this comes on stream rapidly is to let your banks, etc., know that you want to know more and to have a reverse mortgage.
Okay. Thank you very much for being our special guest here on tonight's People's Business. Remember, BARP offering service excellence to seniors and retired persons. Until next time, goodbye and God bless.